There we go. What's going on, folks? This is Coach Marcus, Pro Fan Talk, Pro Fan Hoops, excuse me. Watching the end of this Indiana Fever game, game two, and Las Vegas pretty much put it on them tonight. Um, they tried to get it close. They had it within like 10 or 11 points at one point. They could have got it down to six at one point, but um, they couldn't make their shots. They couldn't make their shots. Um, you guys know how I feel when it comes to basketball. It's not about necessarily. I mean, defense wins championships. That is universal. However, when you're playing at this level in the playoffs, you have to make your open shots. To me, that's what it comes down to. You have to make your open shots. And right now, Las Vegas is killing them. Las Vegas is shooting like over 50%. Las Vegas is Las Vegas is shooting 53.3% from the floor, 41.7 from deep. Indiana shooting 40% from the floor, 35% from deep. So what's going on, Carlos? Um, yeah, they had their opportunities, man. They've had their opportunities to um, leading up to the end of the half or the end of the first half. They got it within like it was 11 points at the half. Then they had an opportunity to cut it down to like eight or six a couple times in the third, and just they couldn't stop Las Vegas. They couldn't. They just weren't making open shots. They just weren't making open shots. Kelsey Mitchell 4-14 from the floor. She still ended up with 13 points. Odyssey Sims 13 points. Aaliyah Boston 10 and 13. So Aaliyah Boston had a double double. Um, Natasha Howard had 6 points. She didn't do much cleanup. Hard to do cleanup when you trying to clean up against a bigger body. Um, Brianna Turner, 23 minutes, no points. No points, 3 rebounds. That's it, and a steal. Not that ain't gonna cut it. It's not gonna cut it. Lexi Hall, 29 minutes, 15 points. Um, 5 of 11 from three. She's been firing it up, so that's a decent night from deep, but nobody else has been hitting three. Kelsey Mitchell's been cold from three. They just didn't get much help. There has been only one, two, three. Only had four players shoot. Shea Petty missed all her threes. Odyssey Sims was 1 for 2. Kelsey 1 for 6. Lexi Ho was the best 3-point shooter tonight. Um, I mean, and you didn't get much from Vegas either. Vegas just killed them on the floor. 34 for 62 on the floor. 5 for 12 from deep. So Las Vegas was efficient tonight. So the refs are the refs. I don't even bitch about the refs no more. Asia had her whistle. Um, she at home. That's gonna happen. Period. When Indiana's at home, they get whistles. That goes both sides. So I'm not barking up that tree no more because it's useless. Because for as much as I could find bad calls against the Fever, it's bad calls against everybody. That's league wide, so it is what it is. I'm not worried about that. But they got to shoot better. They got to play better defense. And Las Vegas did a good job of really getting after Kelsey Mitchell and not letting Kelsey Mitchell beat him. And who is going to pick up the pace for that production? Lexi Hall, she had a good game for her with 15 points, but you need somebody to put up a little bit more than that. You got nobody's in the 20s. Asia Wilson got 25 points. You got nobody. Everybody's in the teens. So, I mean, there was a couple of opportunities for Indiana to really chip away at that lead, but they just couldn't. They couldn't make their open shots when they had to make their open shots. That's what it's coming down to. And then you going into game three, tied 1-1. So, um, Carlos, I don't think they have to shoot over 50%. I think they have to limit what Asia Wilson gets. I think that's the key. And Kelsey Mitchell has to shoot at a reasonable clip from three. She's going to drive. She didn't even have a good game on the floor. 4-14 from the floor. That's very abnormal. And they were playing very physical with Kelsey Mitchell. Um, they were letting a lot of stuff go. So it's the physical games now are players always hitting the floor and they swallowing the whistle. So it is what it is. I'm still pulling for Indiana, but I am so ready for this season to be over with because I'm tired of all of these petty attitudes. I'm tired of these damn refs, and I'm ready for them to go into the negotiation and go through whatever it is they got to go through with the CBA negotiation, and then come out on the other side and let's start next year again. You know, you hear all of the stuff about would they have a better chance with or without Caitlin Clark. Right now, you ride with what you got. You ride with what you got. You don't mess up the continuity. Do I think Caitlin Clark would make a difference now? I think she would be a hindrance more than a help because that means you have to come in and she got to be hitting her shots right off the bat, or else she'll just be dead weight because she wouldn't be in game shape. She wouldn't be going game speed. You have to wait for her to get her legs about her and all of that type of stuff, hitting the floor, just playing basketball. So I wouldn't think that was a good idea. You stick with what got you there. Caitlin Clark ain't played in what, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. And they got to this point by themselves. So they got to finish it by themselves. That's all they can do. Caitlin Clark will come back next year and be ready to rock and roll. They shouldn't have to draft nobody with this team. They're gonna have to make some decisions at who they're gonna keep at point guard and things like that. But for the most part, um, they got a good squad. They got a good squad to return. So they two mainstays, Caitlin Clark, Lexi Hall, Kelsey Mitchell, and I think they should keep Sophie Cunningham, KK Turner, Ari McDonald. Keep all of them. Sydney Colson, you can let her go because I would rather have Ari McDonald and her age. Ari McDonald's energy is phenomenal. So they got some decisions to make, but that's a good problem to have. So they got the mainstays back. Like I said, they really need to keep. I mean, Boston ain't going nowhere. Caitlin ain't going nowhere. Kelsey, I don't think is going anywhere. She'll have the option to go somewhere else, but I think she'll kind of stay in Indiana. I'm hoping she will. And then you got Sophie and Lexi. I think Lexi just got better. The more she played, the better she got. So Sophie Cunningham was the best 3-point shooter they had for a minute. So if Sophie Cunningham can come off that knee injury and be back to normal, playing that hustle ball and stuff like that, I like Natasha Howard. Natasha Howard surprised everybody with her play. Needs to be a little bit more consistent, but you can say that about anybody. So we'll see what they're gonna do. We'll see what they was gonna do. But they go down tonight and they just didn't have it. Just didn't have it. So you got to look for the next one, man. So that's it. Didn't want to stay on too long. But we will see what the Fever will do in the next game. Las Vegas takes this 90-68.